Namo Buddhaya. Good evening, everyone. My name is Linda, and I'm so delighted to welcome you to our Mindfulness Through Buddhism Sutta study class. This is a class where we deep dive into the Buddha's original teachings that we call the suttas or discourses. These profound wisdoms were shared over 2,600 years ago by the Buddha. While many of us are drawn to the quiet of the cushion, understanding these teachings is essential for a truly fruitful meditation practice, especially for the practice of vipassana or insight meditation. We are very fortunate to have Venerable Amita Kema Bhante with us tonight to guide our sutta study and offer his insights into these timeless teachings.
2 weeks ago, we did the first class and we couldn't do because of the Facebook and in the 2-day retreat. Let's see if there are anyone would like to do the summary.
Bhante, I can give it a try, but I need Bhante's help though.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so last time we were talking about the Ānāpānassati sutta. That's the breathing meditation, sutta about breathing meditation. And in that sutta, the Buddha explained how the breathing meditation, if developed and cultivated, it is of great fruit and great benefit. So in that sutta, the Supreme Buddha says when we develop and cultivated this breathing meditation, it will lead us to the fulfillment of the 4 foundations of mindfulness. And then in turn, when we fulfill develop and cultivated the 4 foundations of mindfulness, it will lead us to the Satta Bodhanga, that's the 7 enlightenment factors. So then the Supreme Buddha then explained how this breathing meditation will lead to the fulfillment of the 4 foundations of mindfulness. So then the Buddha explained group them into 4 tetrads. The first one, the first tetrad says we go to Aranyagato Rukkamu. So we go to the forest or to root of a tree or empty place. You see that you sit down with crossed legs and with your back straight and panidaya, ujung kaya panidaya, parimukang sating upatapetwa. So we place our mindfulness right in front of our face. Then we mindfully we breathe in, mindfully we breathe out. And when we breathing in long, we understand that we breathing long. When we breathe out long, we understand that we breathe out long. When we breathe in short, we understand that we breathe in short. And then when we breathe out short, we understand that we breathe out short. So that's already 2 for the first tetrad. The third one is where we will observe. Bante?
I will say the Pali, you can say the English.
Okay.
Sabbakaya Patisangvedaya.
Samiti Sekati. Okay. So we train ourselves, Sabbakaya Patisangvedi, meaning we train ourselves to feel the whole breath, from the in breath to the out breath. And then Pasambayang Bante. Pasambayang Kaya Sankara, Asasi Samiti Sekati, Pasambayang Kaya Sankara, Pasasi Samiti Sekati. So that one is after we observe the whole breath, then the next step is we calm down the breath. That's the fourth steps in the first tetra. The Buddha says that's the kaya. When we practice the first tetra, that means we practice the kaya nupassana or the contemplation of the body. Then the second tetra is a piti patisangvedi asasisamiti sikkati. Piti patisangvedi pasasisamiti sikkati. So we experience the rapture as we breathe in, and we experience the rapture as we breathe out. Sukha patisangvedi asasisamiti sikkati. Sukha patisangvedi pasasisamiti sikkati. Then we Rapture meaning we have happiness, we practice happiness, and the happiness is in the mind. Then following is when that happens, our body becomes tranquil. So sukha patisangvedi asasi samiti sikkati, sukha patisangvedi pasasi samiti sikkati, meaning we experience happiness as we breathe in and as we breathe out. Then following that is Chitta Sankhara Patisangvedi Asasi Samiti Sikkati. Chitta Sankhara Patisangvedi Pasasi Samiti Sikkati. So then after that, we experience the Chitta Sankhara. Chitta Sankhara means the mental formation, that is the feeling and perception. Bante, I'm just explaining the steps, but
Yeah, you're correct. Go ahead.
the next one is Pasambayang Chitta Sankara Asasi Samiti Sikati, Pasambayang Chitta Sankara Pasasi Samiti Sikati. So after we experience the perception and feeling, then we are calming the perception and feeling. Then these 4 steps, the Buddha says, if we practice these 4 steps, we are practicing the contemplation of feeling, that is Vedana Vipassana. Then after that, I think Bante explained, after that, then we see the mind. The mind is like the projector at that time. Then we go to the 3rd chetrat, that is the Chitta Patisangvedi Asasi Samiti Sekati, Chitta Patisangvedi Pasasi Samiti Sekati, meaning we experience the Chitta, the mind. Then after that, we Chitta, and abhippamodayang Bante, is it? Abhippamodayang Chittang Asasi Samiti Sekati, Abhippamodayang Chittang Pasasi Samiti Sekati. After when we see the mind, we feel so happy there. The mind is so bright. So that's when we go to the next Abhippamodayang Chittang. Then after that is happiness in the mind, then our mind becomes settled down into samadhi. So it's samadhang cittang, asasi samiti sikkati, samadhang cittang, passasi samiti sikkati. The mind become concentrated. After that, Vimochayang cittang asasi samiti sekati, vimochayang cittang passasi samiti sekati. That means the mind is liberated from all the hindrances. Then if we practice the 3rd chetrat, the Buddha says we are practicing the Chittanupassana or contemplation of the mind. After that, then we are going, after that, following is Anicca-nupassi, Asasi Samiti Sikati, Anicca-nupassi, Passasi Samiti Sikati, meaning we contemplating the impermanent, Anicca. Following is Viraga, I think. Viraga-nupassi, Asasi Samiti Sikati, Viraga-nupassi, Passasi Samiti Sikati, meaning we train our mind to experience this anicca. I forgot.
Okay,
Viraga, this passion.
let's do the class from that first.
That relaxed, focus to your breath, mindful mind. Bring your attention to the class. So when you learn teachings, there may be things that you may feel like I do not understand. So when you feel like I do not understand, don't let your mind to worry about that. If you know what you do not understand, note it down and just let it go and keep it as a note to ask when you get a chance. And in case if you feel like I'm afraid of speaking in front of others, just put it to the chat and we will discuss and we will learn how to do that. So now we know that we are learning the breathing meditation. So today we are going to close the breathing meditation whole class, conclude. So breathing is a not just a stress relieving something, but it is the same meditation Buddha used to attain the enlightenment. So this is even though we just focus to our present breath, it has ability to take ourselves to the fully understanding of this world. So this is not just a one another meditation. So when we bring our attention to breath, as we learned in the four foundation of mindfulness, there are four levels, there are four stages where we can where we can place our attention when we being fully present and aware about ourselves. One is mindful of our body, then mindful of our feelings, and mindful of our mind, and mindful of our mind phenomena. So when someone practicing attention or the mindfulness on on his own breath, that means that that person practicing first the mindful stage, that mindfulness of his body, and second mindfulness of his feelings, and mindfulness of his mind, and also mindfulness of mind phenomena. In other words, this Ānāpānassati breathing meditation can help us to practice all four foundations of the mindfulness. So when we pay attention to our breath, we starting with just feeling our body as body. The difference between just feeling our body as body and just feeling our body is two different things. When we feel our body, we always try to identify me, mine, or myself in it. So when we learn from the four foundation of mindfulness, we learn that when we pay our attention righteous way, correct way, it allows us to see the rising and the falling, and it allows us to see that non-self and non-authority and all the conditioned things are coming together and creating the cause and effect. And then in that way we understand there is nothing to frame as me or mine or myself. So when we practice focus on our breath, first four steps teach us, allow us to see this body is not me or mine or myself. The second four stages teach us to see this not only the body, not me or mine or myself, even the feelings and perceptions also, not me or mine or myself. Those are rising and falling due to the reasons. In the third stage, that mind and gladdening mind and concentrating, and then that liberating mind. In there, we understand this mind also not me or mine or myself, and so mind also a conditioned one, we can understand. So then the last part, the mind phenomena. Mind phenomena also not me, not mine or not myself, those are just rising and falling. So in that way, meditate, understand that there is nothing to frame as me or mine or myself. Then uh, I, when that I remove from these conditioned things still will function, rising and fall. But since there is no expectation, attachment to expectation, may this should be like this, may should be like that, there is no sufferings to experience in that person's life. So when we say the sufferings, I will dive into the last part with bringing this. So sometimes we may understand that the sufferings as think that, okay, what do you think if someone going through a life with broken legs? Isn't it a suffering in our point of view? Yes, of course. But the Dhamma teachings of the Buddha shows that that's a physical pain, but when it comes to a suffering, it has a huge depth in that, and so we can say by just seeing outer appearance, his pocket, his where he live in a prison or homeless as a homeless person or billionaire in a mansion. that doesn't show that whether that person going through sufferings or not. So here's a story. So one young adult wanted, after listening to teachings of the Buddha, and he tried to meditate, and he felt that concentration, and he felt that so happiness which he never ever experienced, and he wanted to practice this path until the liberation. But unfortunately, he was just married maybe a couple of years ago, and so he brought this idea to his wife, and his wife, with hesitation, but she agreed, and she allowed monk to have his own path, So then, after some time, so this monk went to another area, another city maybe, and meditating and so and so. But this lady had her own plans and had her own free lifestyle, and that monk, while practicing meditation, he decided for some reason come to his hometown back again and meditate there. So but the lady was frustrated and suspicious about that. Is he going to come back again? Am I going to be a wife to him again? Because she has her own plans now. She may have her own boyfriends. I don't say friend, maybe friends, and so, live her own lifestyle. So she was upset about that, and what she did, she gave money to robbers and thugs actually, and asked, there's a monk with these appearances in the jungle, I will pay you, and you need to kill that person. So wife wanted to kill this monk, afraid of he will be back as a lay person, and I may have to have a marriage life, and I'm not comfortable with that. So these things are sometimes we may fear. Just do people do like that? Yes. Today also I read an article. In that article says that in the 1980s, one lady, while going through a divorce in California, she killed her husband just to get the insurance, $500,000 insurance, and she killed the person who killed also using another plan. When our mind default, we don't know what we are doing. So that's the mind. So if our mind default with lust, our mind is like very narrow-minded. Anger, narrow-minded, even from the delusion. But when we say religion, it's a very peaceful thing, and most people feel spirituality through religion. But when it comes to the delusion, that even that religion also can be a reason to kill someone. And that's how that some terrorists, they are claiming that they belong to a religion. So that's how the mind works. So so the same thing happened, and these people came to kill monk. So while he's meditating after his arms round in a jungle in the afternoon, so while he's meditating, he saw, and these people said, this is why we want to kill you. Then this monk said, here's the thing, I have not completed this path. Give me a day, then I will allow you to kill myself. Then I can use that day to meditate. Then they are thugs, and they know that if someone say like that, definitely he may has another plan to escape. Then they said that no, we don't sure. We are not sure about what you're saying. We can't do that. Then what he did, he crossed his leg and took a stone, and from that stone, he broke his own nails as a proof with so much of pain. He asked, are you sure? Now there is no way to escape. Then he meditated straight, went to his concentration. So you know that there are some lucky people in the world. when they meditate, they don't feel even their body, but they are fully mindful in their concentration level. I think this monk also may had that. If not that sort of a huge pain, it's really difficult. So with that concentration, he attained the enlightenment and died in the same place. So I just wanted to bring that also to see that. So this is how the mind works. So while saying so this meditation, so when we practice this breathing meditation on the Ānāpānassati, this is a meditation which lead to for freedom. So we learned about the first 12 stages, and in then that, so aniccanupassī asasissa mīti sikkati, and that means seeing the impermanence, breathe in and breathe out. Passasissa mīti sikkati. So this, it is not just thinking this is impermanent. You are not going to think about your breath, it's impermanent or impermanent. That's what you see in your own breath. So when you see the impermanence of your own breath, it creates the dispassion or the virāganupassī, and it creates the nirodha, the liberation, and then it creates the then patinissagganupassī, or the letting go, breathe in and breathe out. So those are the 4 stages. So these 16 stages can arise when that person is supervised and mindful, but that still doesn't mean that he is liberated. So based on these 16 stages, he has to practice the 7 factors of the enlightenment. Because one thing is the Ānāpānassati, or the breathing meditation. Based on that, we can practice 4 foundation of mindfulness. That's the 4 things. From that, we need to practice 7 things. Those are the 7 factors of the enlightenment, which lead to the meditator to the vijja and vimukti. Vijja means the understanding, full understanding. Vimukti means the liberation. So that's how the liberation happens. So then in brief, aniccanupassī means that I shall breathe in contemplating the impermanence. Then I shall breathe in contemplating the fading away, or the viraga. Raga means the attachment. Viraga means the opposite of that. And then I shall breathe in contemplating the cessation. Then I shall breathe in contemplating the relinquishment. That means that it's like the letting go, or the patinissagganupassī. So that's how the meditator practice. So those are the 16 stages the breathing meditator practice. So before we dive into discuss furthermore, if you have any question, feel free to bring. While I'm saying this, I will say another thing which we at the 2-day retreat we discussed with the meditator. So that's why I thought of it's better to share with you all. Here, when you meditate, sometimes you may not feel your breath, and sometimes you may go to a deeper concentration. So it's you are not, your mind is incapable of at that time doing these things like understanding your breath. So if you know that it's not just like a dizzy mind state, like third hindrance or so, is if you know that it's concentration, first you need to familiarize yourself to that concentration. Because when your mind experience that concentration, it's a kind of a excitement, in the same time kind of to the mind it can be a little fearful thing, because it's a strange thing. It is not something you usually experience. It's like think that you all live in America and suddenly you go to Mexico, maybe not in these days, I think some another country, in Canada, or I know you are coming from, there are meditators from different countries, think that you are going to a new country which you do not have any experience at all. So you feel like you are slightly suspicious about the people, what they are doing, and Am I in a trouble? Likewise. Because of that, so you don't feel comfortable where you are in now. In the same way, no matter how beautiful the surroundings, if you are not sure about that, that's how you feel. So that's the fifth hindrance actually. Fifth hindrance is this that doubtfulness. So instead of believing your mind, just understand how you feel. Do not afraid if you are mindful what you experience, and then familiarize you to that better. Practicing short time period concentration, 5 maybe 10, attaining, staying there and wake up. Practicing like it's intentional practice, like I'm practicing, I'm attaining to that concentration, I'm staying 10 minutes and I'm waking up. So likewise, you master that attaining, staying in that your concentration and wake yourself. So then you little by little you're creating kind of a comfort where what you experience. Then you don't feel that strange feeling. Then you feel that calmness, serenity, incomparable happiness with the sensual pleasure compared to the sensual pleasure world. So likewise, it will be a wonderful thing for you to experience. So that's the one thing which I wanted to say. So, but if you see that your mind is focusing to your breath, start with your focusing to your breath and understand it's breathe in and breathe out, and then long or short, and then understanding that full breathe in and breathe out process in front of your face or nostril area, and see the calm that it's settling, and see the tranquility or actually the rapture, or the tranquility rapture feel that you feel that physical happiness with the breath. When your breath when your breath get calm, you feel that blissfulness in it, and then it will change into a mental happiness even. And then you just understand this breath. With the breath, these things arising, these feelings and perceptions arising, and those are falling. And then when you understand it, that it also will calm and subtle, and then it allows us to understand the mind, how mind works. When you understand the mind in the natural way of the mind, it's also gladdening, like you understand like this is how it works, and then it concentration, and it allows you to, without like, in this world we feel like we do something, that always the delusion comes first. I do this, I do that, I need credit, and always me is there. But the mindfulness or the satipatthana allows you to see the world without that I, see the things like the cause and the effect. So, right, I will open you to ask questions or anything to share.
Oh, sorry, Bante. In last session, Bante mentioned how we can practice the 7 factors of enlightenment in any of the steps in Ānāpānassati Sutta. Can Bante please give a kind of like an example for that, please, Bante?
Yeah, so first of all, these things should arise, and the bojjhanga means things which need to arise, and then shall we memorize all the bojjhangas together? Who can join with us?
So I have mindfulness, clear understanding, energy, joy, tranquility, concentration, and equanimity.
Sadhu, sadhu. See, now I can step back and listen to Dharma from you. So I'm so happy to see, because when I was starting this class, I was slightly bit of behind in my intention. Is this will be the be a good idea to do a class? So I was always thinking of let's do a little mindfulness practices because everyone feels stressed. Let's do the stress relieving meditation. But now I understand one thing. So this is actually our teacher also so did that. Teacher opened these teachings to understand in our own language. Then and that's how the real confidence built. And thank you, just bringing it right. So the first one is the sati. Sati means the mindfulness. So then think that if you're practicing that breathe in and breathe out, so that mindfulness arises there. And based on that, you can practice the Dhamma Vichaya. Dhamma Vichaya means that the contemplation, you can focus to the contemplation of the Dhamma. So what's going on there? It opens the virya or the energy, it creates the energy in you. And then it changes to the rapture, the piti, and then it changes to the tranquility, that the tranquility of your body and the mind. It's like feeling that feather experience, and then light body and mind experience, and then it turns to concentration, and not attached to the concentration, it changes to the equanimity. So those 7 factors is viveka-nissitang. That means you need to rest yourself from the defilements when you practice that. Viraga-nissitang. Then again that dispassion. That means that you are not attached into that what you are practicing even to the defilements, and it creates the nirodha, that the liberation, and then the letting go. So it's like even actually if a meditator go from one factor to another factor, he may need to create that dispassion. So that's how it goes to the other factor. So that's how it works. Okay, let's have a common idea about this and we all can practice, right? Should we think the mind as a separate entity that can control us, but we need to always find ways to control it instead? No, mind is not a separate entity. It's like when we say a vehicle, so we can talk about vehicle without engine. So engine also in the vehicle. So that when it comes to everything, that's where we say that we ourselves, that the Panch Upadana Khandha, the 5 aggregates of clinging. So in there, the mind is also one sense faculty, and we need to understand mind in that way. So what we need to understand about the mind also constantly changing. So here's the thing, I will bring another special thing to understand on this. Okay, your feelings are real. So therefore, do not dive into fake stories. Do not dive yourself into a fake story. In that way, you can understand how we need to treat our mind. Have you seen that some birds, some wild animals, when they see a mirror, they go there and try to fight with their own reflection? Have you seen? Do they think that I am fighting with my own reflection, or do they think that I am fighting with someone like me? What do they think?
Another one.
Yes, another one. So, but actually, is there anyone in there? Nothing. That our dog, unfortunately, our dogs have from birth to until today, they have seen thousands of mirrors, and they know that this is me, and they may go there and try to see the beauty of their tail and everything, but think that there's a wild dog. So wild dog does not know, and that first time he see a mirror, and then if you're not sure about that, you can Google it and find, not now, later, not now again. Don't dive into the Google while listening. So when it sees the reflection, it may bark and try to fight and doing all the things. And when he feels like tired, he may go somewhere and just resting. Think that when he's resting, Suddenly to his mind comes that the dog over somewhere in that mirror place. He get angry. So that feeling is real, isn't it? Actually, they feel that feeling. But where's that dog? Where's that dog who made that problem?
Is he laying down? Like, is he's laying down?
The mirror.
Oh, the mirror.
Yeah. So actually, so that dog is, so if we say the mirror is the dog, so that when we go there, we don't see a dog, we see ourselves. Yes, that dog, actual dog who made chaos, fight with this dog. But he feels feeling, he has feeling, he's so upset. I fight, but I couldn't win. He's so angry. Feelings are so real. Okay, let's say, so now he believe that story also real. But to make the story real, that the dog should be a real dog. But where's that dog? You know what? In our life also, our feelings are real, but we are all worrying about fake stories. That's the thing we need to understand. So if anyone else comes and say, hey, you are worrying about a fake story, we will be furious. So we don't want someone else to come and say, well, you are in a fake story, because we see the story with our feelings. So we feel like they don't understand me. They are not in my side. They are making a joke in the huge problem I am going through. Because think that you are, for some reason, you are going through grieving, or think that you are going through divorce. Someone come and say, hey, you are in a fake story. You'll probably take some stick or so, teach him what is the real story. Why? It's a very painful thing. So someone say like that. But when we understand that if that dog has insight to understand, okay, I was just fighting with my own reflection. If we can understand, I am worrying about the judgments which I have created, and I am bringing my own past, my memories, and judging these people, and I'm diving me into this and worrying. We can wake ourselves up from that fake stories. It's like this. Think that you all know how baseball works, but since in where I was born, there wasn't baseball. When I see baseball, I see someone throwing ball and someone hitting, but other than that, I can't understand what's going on there. So therefore, I don't know who win, who lost, and I don't have that. Since I have not put that rules in my head, I don't say anything in there, just throwing a ball and hitting. But think that you are supporting the two teams, that both teams, and one win and one lose. Yeah, winning team has so many happy feelings. Losing team so going through so many sufferings. So likewise, there are rules there are some conditions which we have put in this world, and we are trying to see the world in that way. It's like after we putting some color glasses, we see the world in that way, and we are expecting for a kind of a miracle to happen, not to think that I am putting a red glass and expecting this world to see in a golden color. I'm expecting and begging for a miracle, but it can't happen. Only thing is, I need to remove that color glasses, and I need to understand that I see this world because I put these glasses. Like our glasses are what? Our attachment to our expectations, where we suffer, where we have put rules like attached to some certain expectation. When I give a call, this person should answer right after 2 rings. Doesn't matter he is in middle of confronting to a police in because of getting a ticket, he should answer my call. And when I send a message when that person is online, he should reply me right after seeing that. When my friends only should talk with me, not with the others. At least they shouldn't talk with the people I don't like. There are so many attachments to our own expectations. So then we, without correcting there, we try to correct. We try to have that happy feelings each and every time. So yeah, we need to correct. We need to understand this, how our mind creates stories. Okay, I think you understood that's right. Did you understand? Or it's like, oh, Bhante, another rocket science.
Bhante, it's kind of similar if someone says something to you and you get angry. So that happens in that moment, and a few minutes later, that moment is gone. It's in the past. And then you go home and you start thinking, why did that person say that to me? And you start developing like a mental picture or developing a mental movie. And that mental movie gets you so angry and you want to do something about it. But if you are mindful and understand that it was one incident, it's in the past, you don't know what's going to happen in the future, then you get rid of that mental movie or picture and ground yourself in mindfulness. So it's kind of similar to that, the stories that people make up or the mind makes up for you for anything that happens. So you start worrying about what's going to happen in the future, but nobody knows except the story.
That's true. See that's where the actually problem solves 100%.
Yep.
Because no one else can solve the problems, because we are the one made rules in that our story. And can't say we, actually the mind. So mind also trained in a certain way. Mind trained in the way the ego the way our ego generated. Our ego influence from our karma, ego influence from our society, ego influence from where we lived. Yeah, so many things.
Yeah, very similar to what Alan was saying is actually a personal experience I'm going through. So when he brought it up, it just rung a light bulb, like he read my mind. But personally, I had a very bad argument with a loved one, a partner, someone I care deeply about. And I was having a tough morning. And for the most part, I'm very, like I follow the Buddhist teachings. I'm kind, I'm considerate, I cherish, I do good deeds. But this one time I said very hurtful things to this person. And he got upset, says he needs some space, needs a break. And I've been trying to reach out, say, apologize, take accountability, say I feel bad, but it's not working. So are you saying my thoughts of being heartbroken because he doesn't want to repair stuff and his thoughts about being mad and not wanting to talk, are these what you're saying imaginary, like external to the mind? Because I felt like this topic today was very relevant.
Yes, Stacy. So that's true. So first of all, if our mind do something, because of our minds, if we do something, once we understand that, instead of regret, you can open yourself, and then you don't let your mind to worry about what you have done. And then you did the right thing. You opened yourself and you said that it's wrong, and the other person, but this when it comes to relationships, there is a thing. So there are people in the world, they do not understand how mind works. They totally believe the other person from their own judgments. They are putting some rules. This person is super kind. This person is like this and that. So once what happens when something off happen, they feel like betrayed or something like that. Why this person did to me? So what they don't understand is we shouldn't judge anyone when they are angry. You know what? If for some reason, if I'm angry, don't expect me saying, may you be well, may you be happy. So how can it happen? Anger knows only one thing, to hurt others, because the anger, you feel hurt. That's why you feel angry.
Yeah.
So that's, first we need, if you have good friends, if they are we good with communicating, before we got into a trouble like that, it's really good to talk and like create that right understanding about the mind. So here's the thing, I love you very much and I care you very much. I am ready to share it, anything. But you know what, if anger arises at that time, it's not me but anger. But once my anger fade away, so then that's me, because anger is maybe like a 5 minutes per day, but the other 23 hours and 55 minutes, that's me most of the time, because try to be mindful. Then
Yeah, and
here's the problem.
I know I've been doing, these online stuff and meditating. So, not just for him, but I felt bad for me because, here I am really practicing mindfulness and getting deep into it. And then I say these words, create that suffering, and, I guess it's going to happen here and there.
You know what, in that case, how difficult for a monk. So being a monk, we don't have ability to be angry.
Yeah.
Think that for some reason I'm angry, what will happen? People who meditate, they will say, that's not Bhante, that's his anger. He need to understand anger and he need to work on anger. But rest of the people will say, oh, he's a rude monk. We see walk for peace, monks are very calm, but you don't walk with peace.
So you have to separate, to feel less bad, you have to separate myself from the anger. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That really helped.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Hello, everyone. I read somewhere in the context is something like, I see the world as we are, not as it is. We see the world as we are, not as it is. And what we are is what we believe in. And our belief is based on our upbringing, the education, the subconscious mind, and the cultural background, social influence, many other things, as you mentioned earlier. So we need to separate ourselves or our beliefs versus what we are seeing and observing. And we need to be observer of the facts or actual event rather than, I think you mentioned, wearing the red glass and expecting the world to look pink.
That's true.
Thank you.
That's it. Yes. Yes.
I was thinking about this, how to ask. So when we have these thoughts in our mind, and they're like monkey that is jumping, right? And we know that this thought is not good. We know the consequences of this thought. We know that this thought is not real, and like I tried to tell the monkey, stop, stay there, you're not real, you're fake. But still this monkey jumps in, I don't know how, and I start like thinking and stuff like this, how besides meditation, how like we can stop. We know the thoughts they're like old thoughts that are always coming on standard daily basis, like our routine stuff. But I'm not talking about routine stuff, I'm talking about like these ideas sometimes before we go to sleep and we're thinking. that's not good, and we know that that's not good, but how do we deal with this?
Yeah, the truth is, so this mind, like, most difficult thing to control in this world is the mind. The reason is mind is so fast, and it's like we need to use our own mind to control our mind. So in that way, mind is like, hey, are you going to control me? Then it uses its own cunning factors. Think that you want to meditate, then mind say, okay, yeah, let's meditate. You have a back pain, right? Let's lay down and meditate. Then it seems like supporting, but actually we both going to sleep together. So that's how our mind. So that when we understand our mind, so if you are going through some thought patterns, so just understand it. Okay, this is thoughts, and see, you know, that there are some sutta or teachings which Buddha said that seeing the negative side of that thought pattern, not just seeing, intentionally thinking of the negative side. This thought is not good for me, this thought is not good for others, this thought is not good for both of us, and this thought take us to suffering, and it does not create happiness in me. So when that thought arises, we teach that opposite thought pattern to our mind. That's the one thing. Oh, if there's like a constant thought pattern going on, you can be busy with other stuff, and the you know, this mind, they never like to you know, that this mind has that ability that we feel that shame, embarrassment. We can use that sometimes. We can open that. We can say, if you have a very good person who never ever judge, you can say, hey, you know what? I'm super angry these days, and my anger rises like this. When we say that, because the one who is not supporting to anger, actually, one who understands this anger is the wrong thing. Then what will happen after some time? Because we open up ourselves, because our pride comes first and say, hey, you shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. So that there are like, it comes with that, this mind. To control our mind, there are 5 things which we can use. It says the Seka Bala, or the one who practitioner's powers. One is the confidence. He has confidence what Buddha says. So Buddha said that this is kind of a thing which lead to suffering. That the hiri, or that the shy, or the embarrassment which we keep doing this, then bringing that factor, or bringing the fear factor, oh, this will create suffering. And then the 4th one is the energy factor, bringing your all energy and thinking, okay, I'm not going to do that, like putting energy. 5th one is the wisdom. Wisdom means that the seeing the nature of that impermanence, rising and falling. No use of representing this thought as me or mine or myself. Why? These thoughts are rising and falling. This thought pattern, I did not have this thought pattern maybe a month ago, or sometimes at least some time ago. Now I have this thought pattern. Definitely this thought pattern I don't have in next year. So then, even next month maybe. So then why should I represent this thought pattern? When we understand that, it allows us to create a distance. As we all, when you can remember, right, that when we meditate, we always say that we don't, even though we do a 1 hour meditation, we expect 10 seconds of mindfulness. So we don't expect a lot. After 10 seconds, we expect mind to wander. So likewise, be kind to yourself and be kind to your mind even. And okay, I know mind, you are going through this. Little by little, bring it to the right direct path without frustrating or being negative of your own mind, because what you are doing is something in this world rarely people do. How do you think, how many in this world who believe that anger is wrong? Out of 8 billion. Rare. Because most of the people, when they get angry, instead of seeing anger as a wrong thing. They see that the person in the other side is the wrong person. They will shout, they will fight, they will do all the bad things. But in this same world, we see anger is the wrong thing. So it's an amazing thing. So you're all very good in that. So you should appreciate yourself, what you're doing. Understood? Our website monthly impressions are 45,000. So that means that so many people interested learning teachings of the Buddha through our website. So we want to give them something to read, learn.
Oh, sorry, Bhante. Also, can Bhante also announce the website, the article? I think we have quite a few.
Okay, I will share if anyone interested. In the website, in the articles, in the learn part, we have published this all, we are completing all Satipatthana. So, and then the other articles, in future we will put teachings from our teacher also. And then other articles related to Dhamma. So this, the photo with the monk who's meditating is the all the Satipatthana articles. And then if you want, you can go through and read it. I think comment sections are open. If not, I will open comment section. If you have anything to ask also, you can use that. And then the blog post we publish our programs. There are so many things to publish in there. We need your support to do that. Let's share blessings. Okay, say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Today, as a group, we all together learn nice teaching of Buddha, Ānāpānassati sutta, 16 stages of those steps of me breathing practice, and we learned and we accumulated many merits, good karma, good blessings to our life. Let's share all these good blessings with all the divinely powers, with our past relatives, and with our teacher, Pinnat Loko Swamin Wahanse, and all the monastic monks who live all around the world, and with our wonderful volunteers and all the Dhamma learners, our community coming together to learn these teachings. May you all be well, may you all be happy, may you all good wishes come true, and may you all able to practice mindfulness and cultivate wholesome qualities and attain the Nibbana in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I'm going to chant the blessings in Buddha's language. Abhivadana silissa niccang vaddapachayino Chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sakha sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti minate samijato. May you all have a long life, happy life, and healthy life. Namo Buddhaya.